This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
So hello, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we are playing Rowan, Scholar of Sparks / Will, Scholar of Frost Brawl. I had so much fun in my Hot Girl Summer video that I decided to make a Brawl deck around it, and we're not going to do a proper intro and deck tech going over absolutely every single card in the deck. You can check out the link that is in the description to untap.gg to go over all the individual cards in a nutshell. We are going to control our opponent. Shocking, I know. We're going to take away their options. We're going to take over the game and use the reduced mana cost provided by Rowan and Will to cast really huge spells that just overwhelm them and overpower them. And we're up against Vela, the Ice Shaper, which has 4 toughness, making Demon Bolt a really good pick here. So let's get that foretold. We can cast Demon Bolt for 1 red to deal 4 damage to a creature or Planeswalker. This is a creature or Planeswalker that needs to be kind of killed on sight, or it'll make some ramp cards and do some other annoying things. That's quite the draw if this weren't a basic land. All right, we could get Rowan on the field. Nothing else is on the field. Let's go for it. The cool thing about Rowan, as you might have seen in the Hot Girl Summer video, if she's uncontested for 2 turns, you get an emblem that lets you double all of your cards until the end of time. She said it best. That wasn't fun at all. When it came prepared. All right. Well, when your early Planeswalker gets answered, it's like bringing the queen out too early. Now you have to sort of play a fair game where your commander won't be involved for a really long time. And you have to try to get and stay in the game with that going on. I think we're equipped for the job, though. We've got some removal to hold off their commander. We've got some card draw, and we've got a big spell in Magma Opus. Nylea the Keen-Eyed. An indestructible 5/6 that reduces the cost of every creature by 1. Nice. And sort of a card advantage engine. How am I going to kill that? I'm not. I don't really have the means to kill that in my deck. Let's take these. So that will be on the board for a while, and it can cause us a lot of trouble. I'm going to pose as if I can Graven Lore, but I'm probably going to saw it coming. Let's see what happens. Beanstalk Giant. Okay. Opponent's getting access to plenty of mana. Clothis. Opponent's moving in with the gods here. That's another tough one to deal with. There's going to be plenty of cards in the graveyard. I guess we have to do this. Feels like we have to do this. Alright, no artifacts, no flyers. Let's cycle. Untapped land. Well, we can play Rowan. Can't really defend her, though. Will the opponent be able to reach out and kill her again? She was really vulnerable last time, so I think that that's too aggressive, but we don't have a counter here. I'm going to play this land. We're going to plan to cast Graven Lore and Frostbite something or Demon Bolt something. Scoot Swarm is a good Frostbite target, isn't it? Holy crap. Number of lands you control. How do we deal with this? If it enters, does this turn on? It does. All right, well, we're going to have to find a way to kill it, but I think that's Graven Lore's job. I guess we can do this now and see what we find. Sublime Epiphany. Return target non-land. Well, it's a land, so that doesn't work. So I think all this can go. As useful as Epiphany is, I need a more immediate answer. The Disdainful Stroke we can't cast. All right. Looks like I have to tap out and Shatterskull smash this thing. at some point. I can't do it yet. I'm a mana short because this counts itself as a land. We could Demon Bolt it and smash it, but we'd need another red, which we don't have. Ooh, okay. Oh, I saw a sweet play where it would die to state-based effects if I used Field of Ruin, if I could get 5 damage onto it, but I can only get 4. Okay. How do we do this? How do we fight this thing off? And I'd love to also have Disdainful Stroke. If I do this, and I plus, what happens? Its base power and toughness become a 2/2. What's its base power and toughness now? Star. So it would I'd just be buffing their creature. Not good. Let's try this opt, see if we can find an answer this way. Crackle with power. Close. Next turn, that could be very good. We need to survive a turn of this. But we have Disdainful Stroke. So if they try to cast something else that's really huge, we at least don't die to it. Ow. It's only first blood. But man, what a card. And the opponent, I think they have a read on the counterspell situation, so they're going to try to dig for some cards. This can die to Crackle with power, so it does increase the size. It does turn this on, but it's a little late. Now you're up to 9, but this does 10. We can also Demon Bolt this if we decide we have to. Will they go for Savella? No. A lot of restraint from the opponent. Is there any use for a Field of Ruin here? We could have another red. I don't think so, though. I think we can hold. Bang, bang. I think that's the play. Do we also hold up a Demon Bolt? I don't think so. Don't heroic intervention me. Don't do it. Okay, Signet to the yard. Those die, thank goodness. And we're not out of it yet, although we're tapped out completely this turn. We do have Shadow Skull Smashing and Magma Opus to clean up. If they do some nasty, powerful stuff. Battle Mammoth, that is awesome for them. Whenever a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or ability, draw a card. Enjoy your cards. Pretty nasty, but good for the opponent. They're good and reloaded in the face of the mid game. Get into the late game here. Waking the trolls. Let's not. No, thank you. No, thank you. They say oops. Does that mean they are going to resolve something nastier? Or are they talking about themselves? We don't know. Mass Vandalize my Signet. Could have done that. Oh, I see. They could have done it in the other order. Would have been very effective too. Magma Opus? I think so. We can wait till combat, ambush this, and deal 4 damage to the opponent. Or kill their commander, which is also very sweet. So Savella is online. 3 tap, create a colorless snow artifact token named Icy Manolith with add 1 of any color. Oh, now they go for Ancient freaking Green Warden. You may play lands from your graveyard. Don't have any. A land entering the battlefield causes an ability to trigger. It triggers an additional time. Yikes. Okay. Just you. Opponent playing around stuff pretty effectively, I would say. Can Demon Bolt. So let's go here. But then how do we kill the Svella? Oh, the Wolf Willow Haven is how this is still online. Okay. Let's take the damage. The Ugin can clean this up, finally. And then we only have 2 mana left over, not 3. Okay. But I think it's the play. Can also get down this tome, since we're not using the mana for anything else. I keep holding the iteration, but eventually we'll play it. And hopefully it will be powerful when the time comes. Ugin down. Cultivate. We got an interesting game for a first run here. Bone Crusher returns. All right, Will, let's go. Let's go, buddy. Time to charge the tome. Time to lock down the giant. Here comes a big old beanstalk giant. Let's draw first. Might change what we want to do. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, cool. But it's only for 10! It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I have a plan. Alright, first let's thin the deck. Get another mountain. We got plenty of islands. Alright, some good stuff here. Mystical Dispute is getting a bit outclassed, even though they have a very powerful deck. So let's put Boon into hand. We'll use it to reload in the future. This can go bottom. This can go exile. Get this thing cast. And plus over here, kills this. And Blitz over here, kill this. Nice, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and draw. Looks fun. We have the mana for it. That's a lot of land. But we stocked the hand nicely. We have 23 cards to go to try to figure out a win con while our opponent keeps slamming the monsters. But we have a good solution for that. Okay, another land. Into the Royal is a nice one. Freeze.
You need to sit this one out.
I guess when it does things, the opponent still gets the effects. So let's Demon Bolt it. One of the best things about Will is that it kind of scales your cheap removal into things that can hit larger things, which is why you don't have to run a lot of the traditional weakness of red cards is that when the opponent plays a 6/6, it's too big. But here, your Frostbites and your Demon Bolts can take down giant monsters because of Will. So it actually adds a pretty cool dimension to the deck. Escape to the Wilds. Let's not. That looks too strong. Too strong. Feel like they have something, but we don't have a counter. They don't know that, so we'll go for the Scry. It's good. Stops the commander. All right, maybe they don't have something. So, -7, exile 5 permanents for each permanent exile to create a 4/4 elemental. Are we into that? Kind of into that. We have the tome and we can exile some land. We already used our crackle, so we do have to, like, we have to do proper win conning in this game. So let's power up the Haven first and attack with it. That way we used our mana to do something before we exiled it.
I also know the
Hold on, we gotta add some mana because we might replay Will here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, it's exile 5, isn't it?
everything I've learned.
So confusing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Animation! Nice. Okay, if I play you, I have 1 mana left over, which is kind of all I need. 2 mana, because of the Haven. Let's draw. And end the turn.
I just need to be
Well, that was nice. Now there's a lethal threat. The opponent goes for Storm's Wrath. We drew this sweet, sweet negate card. And that's it. I actually got to do the Will -7. Forgot totally how it worked and ripped the negate for the lethal. It's quality talent magic right there. Ah, Prismari Showdown. Little Kaldheim versus Strixhaven with Agar the Freezing Flame. Is this a good keep? His hand seems really slow, and we get a free mulligan. We have the beauty that is negate, but we have no way to deal with their commander, so let's take the mulligan. Better. Better, better, better. We'll do this. Or as I like to say, better, closer, warmer. As a tribute to one of the great bands of all time. If you don't know, you just don't know. Someone in the comments will spill it. All right, ops up. Haven, no. Maybe later. It's not like we're going to activate it for a long time, and if we have a bunch of land on top of our library, which we appear to do, we need to work our way through it to draw the goodies. Invasion of the Giants. That's pretty cool with the giant commander, because you know... Well, it says reveal a giant from your hand. Okay, maybe it's awkward. I guess we'll see. If I play Rowan, I'll have 1 mana to cast Brazen Borrower to Protector. But I think that's a little risky. And then this says the next giant spell costs 2 less. And this says when you reveal a giant, 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. So putting a planeswalker on the field is just begging for that. Just begging for the pain. Let's pass. This way, neutralize is still available. We can go for Behold. We can bounce something. And a giant has been revealed. It is certainly an elementalist. As an additional cost, reveal the giant or pay 2. Whenever it attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell without paying its mana cost. Yikes. It's a big giant. I think I'll find a way to deal with this, and if I don't, I'll bounce it. So let's take this window to draw some cards. Magma. Liquid hot magma. Okay, in case they have a way to blow this up. Well, their next giant will cost 2 less. I hope it's the Agar. I hope that our bounce spell throws their curve off a little. Agar does let you draw cards when excess damage is dealt, and we don't have a lot of targets to put on the board for them to deal that excess damage, but they would love to do it to the planeswalkers. 1 mana Bone Crusher Giant. How are we going to deal with this? I guess we should counter this and let them have their commander and try to avoid giving them anything to interact with. Alright. Whenever a creature or planeswalker is dealt excess damage, if a giant wizard or spell you control dealt the damage, draw a card. So all we have to do is not give them targets. Control Mage Heaven. Do we keep that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I bottom it because of the research. But we're getting close to Opus. But we don't want to flood out anyway. Take the 3 down to 20. We've got some time. Let's see if this resolves. Might get countered. But then Opus is more likely to resolve. Okay, that resolved. That's pretty good. Frostbite, Negate, Alrund's Epiphany. Wow. Wow. That was a nice, that was some nice research. That's some good studying, guys. Let's take a minute to do some foretelling. Opponent didn't do anything with their turn cycle, so I feel safe setting aside some cards for the future. But I don't want to play into their open mana on my turn. I prefer to do it on their turn. Oh, the Haven, huh? Okay. Well, it is a giant. Let's go ahead and kill it. Stone Raining them, I think, is a lot better than taking out their commander, which we'll get back to the commander. Give it a minute. All right, our opponent's tapped out. Let's send these. Turn this into an O2.
This will give. Just take a moment and cool off.
And then send you back to the command zone with a Prismari command. Still leaving up mana for the Negate and the Saw It Coming because of the cost reduction. And now when we cast Alrund's Epiphany, we'll have a Planeswalker ticking up. Although I might try to cast the Opus first, so I can also be attacking. But yeah, we're in a good spot now. It's a happy place. What will the Giants do about it? What can the Giant Tribe possibly hope to do? That's a Negate. It wouldn't kill this, but it would provide more mana for the opponent. Let's go ahead and plus this turn. I might minus the next one. I'm going to go for the Opus. Boom. Play me a beautiful tune about an explosive elephant. Graven lore. That's fine. I know it doesn't seem fine, but it taps them so low and it doesn't affect my Planeswalker that I feel like it is fine. 2 to the bottom. If there's something I miss about the getting to run 4 copies of Rowan and Will in my deck, it's that I can't have both twins out at the same time in Brawl. It's a little sad. Little bit sad. Opponent goes into the discard zone. Alrund's Epiphany, getting ready, warming up. And then Shark Typhoon, hanging out, lurking. Alright, so against Frostbite, we still want a plus. I'm at 0. Also, we've got the ultimate available.
Slow down. Let's talk.
Go for the Epiphany. Go for the Borrower. Pretty big attack coming up. And the opponent scoops it up. That's game. Elves! We're fighting for the belt. The championship belt of the Elf Clan. Yes, we got a Frostbite. We got some card draw. Negate can hit the commander. This hand is awesome. Arcane Signet on the play is broken. Easy mode. That's an annoying one, isn't it? So unlike the Acquisitions Expert, if we kill this now, we still have to discard. So what do we discard? I think it's the Frostbite. I think I like the rest of my hand a lot more. So if we get this on the battlefield, start plussing. I think that's the way. Let's see what our opponent does with this Elderfang Disciple here. Let's try the Stomp. Shoots and scores. Was a little nervous that they'd have Snakeskin Veil. Bloodline Pretender is a good one in an elf deck. Does that kill it? Not yet. So let's fire this up. Let's play our land first. What do we discard? Should be an instant or sorcery. This counters the commander. I guess it'll be Crackle with Power, even though that card is absurdly good and close to getting used. Nah, it'll be Demon Bolt. I talked myself back into Crackling with Power. Sounded fun. Alright. This is a mana. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't Crackle next turn. If they play Tyvar... Well, actually, if they play Tyvar, we ultimate this. So let's just do this now. Make them deal with Rowan. Because once we're copying spells, they're in big trouble. Yeah, they play Canopy Tactician instead to try to keep something going on the board. Alright. This is going to be fun. Emblem. Shark Typhoon, hard cast. We're going to give our opponent a turn to do something impressive. And we'll see how good it is. They get to build a heck of a board, so they might be able to dominate here. I think that my play was the risky play by far. It's not like we have a million mana for this Crackle with Power. And they might have a way to deal with this Shark Typhoon. But I think I made the high-risk play that gives them a chance. And that's just more exciting in Brawl. If there was something on the line, there's no way I would have done what I just did. Would have just played a Bone Crusher Giant, held up Negate so this couldn't resolve. Something like that. Ow. Uh-oh, that's a powerful card. Did they hit an elf? Yeah, they have the Elderfang Disciple from earlier. Alright, I'm going to drop off the Negate since they played 2 spells that I can't really do anything about. If we play Will, we get a Shark, and we get to make something an O2 or draw 2 cards. The Boon of the Wishgiver isn't particularly powerful because copying things isn't a good option right now. And we need one more turn to Crackle with Power. So it looks like the opponent's going to untap with this awesome board. I think we play Boon and just have a big Shark available. And then hopefully we'll draw like a cheap removal spell. I think we already lost our Frostbite though earlier. Yeah. All right, Sublime Epiphany, and we can copy it. Let's see what happens. All right, they're bringing out the Preserver. All right, they are hand vomiting. We are in trouble. We are in trouble. Our idea is going to be to stall until we can copy a Crackle and just end the game. So how much mana does that take? 10. It takes 10 mana. Where are we at? We're at 7. We've got a lot of stalling to do. And we've got to survive this Harald Unites the Elves thing, but I think double Sublime Epiphany can do it. No attacks that turn, so they didn't get through the shark. Oh my gosh, we're going to make so many sharks. Oh my goodness. So trigger on the stack. We want to stop that trigger. Oh, we don't have to, right? We can do this before they attack. So it says whenever an elf attacks, target creature gets -1/-1. Yeah, we don't have to stop this trigger. It's okay. This has an ultimate at 6, and they're trying to pass straight to attacks. In that case, we should do the thing, right? Yep. All right, target non-land permanent. What are we returning? Let's bounce this, because it makes mana. Here's the creature I control. Here's the player. It's going to make another 6/6. I'm going to try to copy a 6/6, and I'm going to try to copy the Epiphany. They're going to use Ram Through, which is fine. It stops this copy effect, but I'm going to get to copy another one here after this one arrives. So they should have let me copy first and then target again, although I would target the new one anyway. So now they can't replay this, but this is probably the best thing to bounce. Adds black so they can replay it. Other Epiphany on the stack, you can add green using the Canopy Tactician. And then bounce it. Pretty good use of mana. But there are 2 6/6 sharks that have something to say about your Tyvar. Alright, mana pool clears. Occam attacks. We're at 21. Let's just keep these. Again, makes for a more interesting game to take a little bit riskier lines. Give the opponent some value, plan to go over the top of it. Alright, we survived a very scary sequence with Harald and Tyvar and Canopy Tactician. This does have reach, doesn't it? Okay. Okay. One more turn. Are we going to use Expressive Iteration here? I don't think so. I think we can Prismari command away the Wildborn Preserver after copying it, and that's pretty good. All right. Don't think we need the sails and the land. It's kind of like a free cycling, where you can discard a cycling card that you would cycle anyway for some other effect. And the opponent's going to scoop it up. We're going to attack down their Tyvar, and next turn we're going to copy Crackle with Power and straight up 20 them. So, gosh, the post-game wrap right here in the game. This is really fun. It's kind of like going from a 100-mile-per-hour NASCAR race or Fast and the Furious movie down to like a 60-mile-per-hour when you go from a 100-card historic Brawl to good old-fashioned Brawl. So it's important to play cards that you find fun, and I find fun in the blue cards that always annoy the opponents, and I think that Prismari has a ton of good ones right now. There are a lot of ways to build blue and red decks. A Rowan Scholar of Sparks deck can really revolve around spells, casting huge spells at discarded rates, kind of like Galazeth, but without the artifact component. I don't know if it's a tier 1 commander, and you can see from our pairings we're not getting paired against the tier 1 commanders, but I think this build is going to win a lot if you're getting paired against these commanders. So maybe if people run this list and pick up a lot of wins and grab those dailies, it will start getting matched up against some of the better decks in the format, like Isika, God of the Tree, and Cody, and what's the other one? Galzeth Prismari is the red-blue deck that I think is probably stronger than this on the whole. So I hope that you'll give it a try and let me know what you think of the Brawl content. Leave me a comment below. Remember to like the video if you actually liked it, and hit subscribe if you want more. You can hit join to get some exclusive benefits and support the channel, but you also can watch the videos. Watching the content does support the content, and thank you very much for doing that, and I will see you in the next video. You're cool.